Here we go. All right, we'll call our meeting to order. All rise and we turn to reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Certainly. Mike Cunningham.
Here.
Kurt Schultz.
Here.
Jennifer Eden, absent. Herman Ferguson.
Here.
David Walker.
Here.
Zach Zucker.
Here.
Cam Mossler. Here.
I don't think we have any changes to the agenda, so support. There's a motion supported to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 And those opposed? The agenda is approved. Next is approval of the consent agenda. The regular board meeting minutes from April 19th, 2022. Treasurer's report from April 30th, 2022. Clerk's warrants and bills.
So support.
It's been motioned and supported to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Communications, we have 7 items. Item number 1 is the Livingston County Sheriff's Report dated April 31, 2022. Item number 2 is the Fire Service Report dated May 10, 2022. Item number 3, Planning Commission approved meeting minutes dated December 14th, 2021. Item number 4, Planning Commission approved meeting minutes and public hearing minutes dated January 11th, 2022. Item number 5 is the Planning Commission approved meeting minutes February 8th, 2022. Item number 6, Planning Commission approved meeting minutes March 8th, 2022. And item number 7 is the Planning Commission approved meeting minutes April 12th, 2022.
So support.
Good motion and supported to receive communications 1 through 7 and place on file. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to public remarks. If anybody has any comments that they would like to make about tonight's agenda, feel free to do so. Please come up to the podium and state your name and make a comment. Mr. Hasbro.
Good evening. I got a couple items I wanted to comment on the Mining Lake Heights proposed planning for the paving. I don't know if they've discussed any of the project with utility companies that have buried utilities in there. You know, consumers and the sewers are 2 of the bigger, probably more potentially being impacted by it. You know, if there's work that utility owners need to do or would like to do, or that gets paid, they need to be given an opportunity to make comments or address things, so. And then, number 6, the site plan for Valley Oil. I don't have anything against the project or, you know, the growth and what I see going on there. It seems to be a well-run operation, and, you know, it's a good business to have in the township, but it's growing, and I didn't see in any of the discussions, and minutes of the planning commission or anywhere that anything with the sewers, with their increase in usage should be brought up at the planning commission, in my opinion, so that the members know what's going on and that it's transparent all the way through with the public as well. So, and the other thing is I know we've had, seems like you guys had public remarks rules put forward. What's going on with that? You guys are tightening up on the camera usage. I think that, you know, controlling people's right to voice their concern needs to be kept viable, and if somebody on this board needs to be chewed out at some time or another, this is a good place to do it, so that's my comment.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Give Mr. Dietrich on Zoom too.
Okay. Scott, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I got a few. Thanks, Steve, for making that comment. I agree with Steve on what he just commented about the public comments and the videoing. I couldn't make the meeting last time because I had surgery, and I'm very disappointed we couldn't get Zoom on. I mean, we're hiring more people, we're paying more money, and we're getting more benefits, but we can't seem to get anybody to do their job. I mean, we can't get the Zoom up. I mean, there's always an excuse why Zoom's not available. I'm very disappointed that you guys passed that insurance, AFLAC, whatever you want, whatever it's called. We provide 7% to Social Security, which Social Security has disability for long-term illness. We have workman's comp. These are sedentary jobs. These people are going to be out. I've been my whole life having some surgeries here and there, medical issues, but you're usually back to work within a week. And in most of these cases, if you have any injuries, you can go back and do a sedentary job. The only issue I can see you need is somebody that's going to have a future surgery or fall out of a boat. You guys, this is more self-serving. We can't get stuff done, but we're getting more. You give your raises, you get more benefits. I think, Dave, you're in the insurance company business. The cost of this stuff, it's crazy. For 30 hours a week for employees, I'm sorry. But I think the insurance is crazy. That's one thing we shouldn't be paying for. Like Steve says, I agree with him on these new rules. We did pretty good. No one's killed each other. And I know there's been a little hype when we argue a little bit. That's how we get stuff done in the township. But put more rules on, I think we're doing good. Some people do get a lot out of control, but we get a little heated, but no one's gonna hurt anybody. We're neighbors, and I don't think we're gonna hurt each other, just voicing our opinions. So, let's try to keep it down, and let's not put too many rules on people in the audience. I think in the end, we all agree we can work together. We need to speed up this master plan. You guys, I know there's a lot of issues, and I mentioned this at the planning commission. We either have to draw some addendums to some of these issues so we don't have any future problems, or we put some stuff put it on hold and we get the next plan. I don't know legally how we do that, but I know addendums can be written up. I know you have to have a public hearing, but let's get these things taken care of so we don't have any future problems. And one more thing, I don't want to press my 3 minutes, is, oh God, I lost my train of thought. It's hard when you're on home and home. The only reason I'm out there tonight is I was exposed Monday, and I was exposed Sunday, and I just found out yesterday, so I'm not gonna come and expose other people if I did have it. I'm not sure if I did or not, but I feel great. But anyways, let's try to keep up the good work, and let's, this legal issue on this coming tonight. I don't see any reason why we can't, at least that people know what the legal issue is. I know you can't get into detail, but I think we got some legal issues with the township. I think people ought to know about it. I know that we'd like to know if there's a legal issue out there. I don't need the words right now, but what the litigation is, but I think we have a right to know if somebody's suing us versus suing somebody else. All right, guys, well, have a good one. Good luck.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Yes.
Jeanette Rapetta, Fuller Drive, and I also represent the group Tyrone Township Watch, and really just kind of representing myself tonight. Regarding the proposed resolution, it's number 1 on new business. It says it will provide a welcoming debate of issues. I'm wondering, does this mean that you're now going to answer questions? You say it's a welcoming debate of issues. Okay, so per usual, we're not gonna get questions answered. Every meeting, you always say that you're not gonna answer the questions, so I assume that it doesn't really mean anything in the resolution. You also say it will provide an atmosphere of fairness, courtesy, and respect for differing points of views. I'm wondering if these same rules will apply to people that the board knows personally out in the audience, because I've many times been stopped from speaking from the audience, but where others have been allowed to speak. There's no rhyme or reason to the rules are broken, then they're enforced, then people are kicked out, then people aren't kicked out. So I think you should look at what you've written in this resolution, because it doesn't make sense. I consider it kind of a waste of taxpayer money, because if anybody's read the Open Meetings Act, that tells you Mr. Cunningham has the power. He's supposed to keep everybody in control. He can take people out, he can ask them to be quiet, he can ask them to come up to the podium or not. So why the need for an extra resolution? I know why it is. It's to put me in the corner in the back there. That's what you're doing. I'm the only one who's ever videotaped any of these meetings that I know of. And surely since February of last year, I'm the only one who videotapes, and I live stream to Facebook, and I'll tell you why I do that in just a moment. But to put me in the back corner where you have people all the time saying, we can't hear, the microphones don't work in the back corner, my iPhone's not going to pick up. And also, I looked at the last two board meetings, which I don't believe I was here for either one of them. Podium completely out of view. Can't even see who's speaking. Is that right? Is that fair? The people need to know who's speaking. So when you have those conversations with people in the audience, and I turn around and videotape them, that's fair. That the public gets to see who's speaking if you're not going to make them come up to the podium. So you're putting me in the corner, in the back. And here's another thing. Have you ever asked me, have you ever said, Jeanette, could you move over there or maybe locate there? No, you haven't. Never.
Yes, I have.
Never have you asked me. Ever.
Not true.
Not true. Not true. But you know what? You've lied about a few things, so I'll just name what those are in here. So again, I've been recording these for approximately 14 months. I usually have my tripod set up just as I do tonight. Is that hindering anybody? Is that blocking anybody? Am I in anyone's way? No, I'm not. What harm am I doing? This room has a few people attending. I'm not in their way. Now you want me to go back to the southeast corner. Can't hear back there. I can't focus in. You've got the podium facing here. I can't focus from that corner over there to see who's speaking. That's not fair. I'm considering this an attempt to censor me personally. And I'll tell you now why I record these meetings. Just over a year ago, during the asphalt plant issue, many of us noticed the Zoom video for a board meeting that had not been published. It was days late. A resident contacted Mr. Cunningham. He responded saying there were technical difficulties. Days later, the video appeared, and guess what? Parts of it were edited out, where Mr. Cunningham was not looking very flattering, and in fact, he was attacking me. Those were edited out. I'm not sure, but I think that might be illegal. So from that point on, wait, is it funny to you, Mr. Cunningham?
Because it's not true.
Oh,
It's
really?
an absolute lie.
Oh, okay, so I'm lying about a video that got edited? You're saying that nothing got edited out?
I haven't edited a video yet.
Okay, so maybe you have it, somebody did it,
3 minutes is up.
so I'd like
So wrap it
back the
up.
part that you're talking to
So
me.
wrap up your public comment.
From that point on, I decided to record as many meetings as possible so that people could have the true recording sense. Not all the editing this office has done. There are meeting minutes that have been published, knowing full well the information is wrong. I can give you examples, and I will give examples. I will write them up. I brought them to the attention here. Okay, the resolution says nothing about the decorum of the board. That's understandable because the supervisor still hasn't spoken out against the actions of the former clerk when she used her position of power to lie about me, and it's not funny, and defame my character. She was never held accountable. In fact, the supervisor hung his head while she attacked me. And they were all lies, all of them. And that's not surprising. Then Marcia Dix gets up, who's been appointed by the
Actually,
board.
time is up.
And she says disparaging remarks about me. And he says, thank you for your comment.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else? All right, things that we have no public comment. We're going to move on to unfinished business. We have none. Now we're going to move to new business. Public township meeting conduct policy. The Open Meetings Act actually provides language that allows townships to set rules governing their township meetings. We've had some public comment about this, and we agreed with what the public said, so we decided to draft a policy. That way everybody is clearly defined on what the rules of conduct are for the township board meetings. The purpose of these meetings is to conduct township business with public comment. So we're going to ask the board that we adopt this resolution so that we have some clear defined rules of engagement for our township board meetings.
Rick, I have one question before we
Sure.
vote on it. Is there any necessary, you know, said you can't hear in the back, is there a problem with her right there? I don't see a problem with her being right there, so she can do it.
Well, the tripod is up. It's been in the aisle before. There's been cords that were running across the floor. People need to get in and out for
There you go.
fire. So now that would be fine. But that hasn't been the case, so
If she was to do it like that, that would be acceptable, huh?
yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
It's fairly consistent with what I'm used to in court, so I think it makes sense. It promotes civil discussion.
So, I'll entertain a motion. Just a resolution, that's right.
I'll make the resolution.
Okay,
I'll support it.
okay. It's been resolved and supported to approve the code of conduct for public township meetings. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Certainly. Mike Cunningham,
Yes.
Kurt Schultz,
Yes.
Jennifer Eden, absent. Herman Ferguson,
Yes.
David Walker,
Yes.
Zach Tucker,
Yes.
Pam Mochler. Yes.
Okay. Resolution's been approved. Moving on to item number 2, Runyon Lake Heights private road paving request. Runyon Lake Heights is a community that's south on Runyon Lake, older community. None of the roads, and they're private roads, none of them are up to county road standards, and they want to pave a road leading up to their bridge. I had our engineer go out and look at it. He didn't seem to think there was a problem with it. We had the planning commission review it. If we were to make them go up to county road standards, it'd be a major undertaking. And all they're just trying to do is have a smoother road. And the only comment that I think we should include on this is that they should provide some sort of hold harmless clause or indemnification to the township that by doing this, that there's no liabilities incurred by the township. And I believe that there was a couple of trees that they need to remove on the, as they approach the bridge. So, they've been wanting to do this for quite some time, and this is how we finally got to a resolution to do it. We actually They were even interested in repaving their whole community, and after we drove out there and to repave it and get it to county standards was just ridiculous, so. I mean, it's just a local community with 5 roads, and they want to improve their roads, so I don't see any issues with it.
We want to maybe do it at phases, like go to the bridge and then split on.
Well, yeah, this is all they've asked for right now, so, I mean, you know, they may, I don't know.
Right.
And we'll have to look at it, you know, section by section, case by case, to make sure that, you know, they're not creating other problems, so.
I noticed, potential concerns about drainage in here. Is that what the whole harmless is intended to address? I
Yes.
assume, okay.
Yeah, the problem that you're looking at is once they pave it, right now it's unpaved. And, how the water will run and stuff like that is a problem, because what we don't wanna have is they put the road in and it's paved, and now we have water in somebody else's yard or further down who doesn't have, water in their yard right now. So that was the issue we asked to have some sort of full harmless for.
Yeah, and the base of that road is, got a lot of clay on it, and so far doing it, I just don't see how much more, runoff or discharge you're gonna have, because clay roads, they don't,
Right.
you know, that's what you put to hold the water in ponds, so. I don't think there's that much of an issue. Phil, did you have any issues with that out there, water out there?
Detention wise or anything like that, additional runoff, no, it's a pretty small quantity, it drains right to the lake, which is a huge detention basin.
Right.
So as long as they're doing something to treat it, which the riprap will help, the grass will help, they're doing that. Our biggest concern with drainage is if they don't get it off the road, the edge of the road, it's gonna erode the road edge and it's gonna undermine the pavement pretty quickly. There's some pretty serious velocities on that pavement, so they really need to do something to manage that, at least on the southish side of that road. They had some asphalt curb's not gonna last, concrete would be better, but, you know, that's gonna drive the cost up too, so. They'll have to figure something out.
Okay. Do you think they should bring something back to the township for review?
What did the plan commission say? Did they approve it?
Yeah, they did.
I don't know how deep into the weeds you guys wanna go, it's a private road, I don't think there's anything in the ordinance that said they had to bring it back, it said what they had to do to get approval from the town to deviate from the township standards. But I don't remember seeing anything in there that said they had to come back for more detail, drawings, I mean.
Would it be just and not to cut you off, would it be just an issue of how long the road lasts, or would it have an impact on other things?
It'll have a big issue on how long the road lasts, for sure. It could be a safety issue if somebody runs off the edge and there's a big drainage, you know, rut there. Certainly, it's pretty low speed. I mean, the chance of anything happening other than dropping a wheel into something is pretty minor. So really, it's just a managing the drainage, longevity of the road, not flooding out anybody, you know, not putting a torrent of rain on their yard that didn't exist before.
I would think the whole harmless would cover the
Yeah.
potential liability too. So I would make a motion to approve it with the stated conditions.
Hold harmless clause and the removal of the 2 trees?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been motioned and supported to approve the Rain Lakes Heights private road paving request to include a hold harmless clause and removal of the 2 trees as stated. Any further discussion?
Just one quick question.
Sure.
So Steve made a good point though, that would it be prudent, because there's nothing in it, nothing in the request or nothing in the recommendations, to check with the utilities to see if they have any plans of doing anything, digging anything there in the next year or two. You hate to have them pave it, we pave it, and then next thing you know, we're cutting it, crossing it, so.
Yeah, I mean, normally if we were doing a project like that, yes, we would contact the utility companies.
That's my point, is we want to give them a heads up and say, let's check with the utility companies, because, you know, you want to delay it. I mean, if that's the case, or, you know, just
put it off until they're done, because you don't wanna pave it and then cut it up and then repave it again.
Correct.
Okay, that was my other question.
Yeah, I was gonna have to do it anyway.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to item number 3 is new business, Runyon Lakes firework permit application, something they do every year. Never had any issues, everything's in order.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
Been motioned and supported to approve the Running Lakes firework application. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, motion carries. Next is request to write off uncollectible fire service charges. We have a few items that are on here. We write them off every year. They become, whether there's a bankruptcy, they're out of statute or whatever. So we get them off of our books because we can't collect on them.
So moved.
Support.
Been motion and supported to write off uncollected fire service charges. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. In our employee handbook, moving on to item number 5, elimination of per diem rates. Not in our employee handbook, we have a per diem rate sheet here. And there's one bit in there that says, employees get a per diem rate. Well, state law says that they should be paid their hourly, so it's something that's been adopted in the past that needs to be cleaned up. So we're just asking to take that provision off because we need to follow the labor laws and the wage laws of the state of Michigan. So if an employee comes to a meeting, they need to pay their hourly rate, not their per diem rate.
So moved.
Support. It's been motioned and supported to eliminate the employee per diem rates. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion carries. Next is item number 6, Val Royale Site Plan Amendment. Kurt, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I went back and talked to Ross in regards to the issues with Battle Royale. And what they're requesting at this point in time, they have a separate rate, number of participants that can come in during the weekdays, and that is the piece that they want to increase, is the weekday issues for things like daddy-daughter dances, the use of the area for sock hops and different things that the schools might want to do, or private individuals. They're currently increasing the number of participants from 150 to 163. That's only because that's what the number of workers is for the differential there. So that really allows them to get where they're supposed to be. But the real question is on the weekdays is we are increasing from 60 to 163, and that sounds like a large increase, but in most situations, I don't think they're going to have that many people there. And again, this operation is pretty much seasonal.
Right. So they're not increasing any square footage out there, they're just increasing
Right.
the use a little bit.
Right.
I think what I would like from them is an attendance list. So if we need to make a determination on REUs for that, we know. So we can kind of compare it to some of their prior lists to just say, well, we've got this much more. Maybe we need to do an REU evaluation in the future. I don't know if this is enough to warrant that at this time, but I'd like to just look at it so we make sure we're doing our due diligence.
Because we've asked them in the past, and they have provided attendance lists for the weekend events that they hold, so we can certainly ask.
I'm not so concerned about the weekends because we're just increasing it with half a hand here. concerned about how their weekday business is going to increase, so I'd like to, request that they.
Is noise an issue out there?
We have had zero complaints from them. They've been, pretty darn good, so.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't had any, DUIs come out of there that I know of, no traffic collisions, no enforcement. It's been, a
Lady who lives
great
next to me.
venue, yeah.
Both down there.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's been neat, orderly, that's about it.
That's great.
I think it's good.
Mike, I make a motion, we approve it.
With the terms?
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
The motion is supported to approve the Val Royale site plan amendment to include attendance sheets. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion carries. Item number 7 is we have to go into closed session to discuss pending litigation. Litigation is Tyrone 4 versus Tyrone Township. If you recall, Tyrone 4 was the subdivision that was south of the township that we denied their application, and there was a few reasons. A lot of it had to do with open space and stuff, so they filed a lawsuit against the township, and that's what the section is about. So, I will read the motion.
It's a resolution.
Yeah, it's just a resolution.
So resolved.
No, please don't. Withdraw that.
No.
Regarding the case of Tyrone LLC versus Tyrone Township, now pending in Livingston County Court Case number 21-031351-CZ, I move to go into closed session to consult with Township Attorney regarding trial or settlement strategies in connection with specific pending litigation, because of an open meeting would have a detrimental financial effect on the litigation or settlement position of the township. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Mike Cunningham,
Yes.
Kurt Schultz,
Yes.
Jennifer Eady, absent. Herman Ferguson,
Yes.
David Walker,
Yes.
Zach Tucker,
yes.
Pam Moffett, yes.
Okay. So this is the last piece of business that we have for tonight. I don't know how long we're gonna be in there. We will have, actually, if you want to stay around and make public comment, when we come out, you can. I don't know how long we're gonna be in there, but there's nothing else that we'll be conducting tonight. Okay.
I'm saying, I don't know why we couldn't have public comment before.
Do you know in the past when they had that urban and now they got this one down in the center, or bowling?
Yeah.
Has there ever been any discussion of the sewage?
Oh, there always is. Yeah.
I don't recall hearing it.
Yeah. I can't tell you the particulars, but just so you know, I'm recording.
What?
Just so you know, I'm recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's okay if it's out there.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if other people in the area are wondering the same thing.
Mm-hmm,
On Runyon Lake, we have a grinder pump around the lake.
Okay.
And it keeps being increased yearly, our charge for it. And see, I haven't heard anything said about these other places. Are they gonna be put on that sewage system?
No idea.
That's what when that Steve brought up something about sewer.
Yeah.
I was wondering, you know.
I think I'll tell everybody.
But I didn't know if I could bring that up since it's not something that's on the agenda.
Right.
I'll give you a half hour.
Yeah, I will have him
Okay.
give you a call.
Yeah, they've got a damages dispute.
They have a whole division, this is what we.
That's all they have, okay.
They will be better at